Hey everyone, thank you so much for clicking yet another video and welcome if you're new. My name is Tadi G and this channel is all about me taking you guys along for the journey with me as I build this clothing brand. So guys, a question that I get a lot, especially in my DMs on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you're not following me already. The thingy bobby should come up here. So the question that I get is, what shall I include in my email to manufacturers? And this is a really good question. So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the kinds of things that I include in my emails to manufacturers in order to get the most efficient, precise response as possible, because I don't believe in wasting each other's time. So let's get into it. So as a brand, there are a few things that I need to find out straight off the back to make sure that this manufacturing company is for me. So the first thing is MOQ, which stands for minimum order quantity. I need to find out whether this particular manufacturer is going to be able to deal with the quantity of products that I want to make. And when you're starting out, the quantity of products needs to be low. So really and truly, you should be looking at 20 to 30 per style or per color. Please try not to go over these sorts of numbers unless you're confident, unless you've got like a really good following and you're confident you're going to sell it, because really when you're starting out, you're still in the testing stages. You need to see whether people actually like what you're trying to sell to them. The last thing you want is to have dead stock. So if you can order the most minimal amount of products you can, that is a really good position to be in. But with that comes an issue, because a lot of manufacturers do not want to deal with such low quantities because fundamentally it doesn't make them a lot of money. Straight off the back, I need to find out whether this manufacturer is even going to be willing to work with the kind of quantities that I am trying to start my brand off by. So that is the first thing that I need to find out. The second thing is lead times. So I need to make sure I find out how long is it going to take for them to get a sample to me, and make sure you're getting samples for your garments, guys. Don't go straight to the bulk order because you're happy with a couple example pictures that they've sent you, because what they show you might not be what they end up sending you. And even if you get a sample, guys, I'm not even gonna lie, if your sample is great, it doesn't even necessarily mean that your bulk order is going to be great, but at least you've taken that step in order to get samples. You've got a leg to stand on, because it's like, yo, you sent me these samples and now you're sending me this bulk order. You can actually see like a clear discrepancy if there is a discrepancy between the two. So you need to find out how long their sample process generally takes. This is always going to be some sort of estimate, because you know your product is unique to your brand. And also you want to find out in general how long their lead time is for the bulk order. The reason why this is important is because then in your mind you can start to think about dates and stuff, release dates, which is an exciting prospect, or maybe you already have a launch date in mind and you need to find out whether that particular manufacturer is going to be able to actually get the products to you in the amount of time that you want them to get it to you. Or maybe you're thinking ahead and you're thinking, okay, I'm trying to release a collection, or I'm trying to drop a t-shirt every 6 weeks or something. You need to make sure that a manufacturer is going to be able to give you a sample and a t-shirt in 6 weeks each time. So that's the reason why it's a really good idea straight off the back to find out what their lead times are. Next, and a really important thing that you need to find out is, what kind of manufacturing company is this? So is it a CMT, which is cut, make, trim, or is it a FFP, which is FPP, which is full package production. So that's when they provide the fabrics, the trims, everything. You don't have to worry about a thing. There are some pros and cons associated with both. I'm just going to speak on them briefly. If you do want a full-on video about the pros and cons of both, comment down below and let me know, and I can do a video on that. But just briefly, CMT, like I said, is cut, make, trim. So basically they're going to cut the fabric, they're going to make the garment, and they're going to trim like the little strings of the thing. However, with cut, make, trim, you have to provide the fabric, the trims, the labels, everything. Sometimes that even includes, actually most of the time, that even includes patterns. Making patterns, guys, gosh, the amount that these people can charge for you to just make a pattern with their company can be absolutely ridiculous. The advantage of cut, make, trim, in my opinion, is that, you know, you have a little bit more control in more aspects of the process. So you can control what fabric that they're using. even though they're going to send you a sample anyway. But I feel like you just get a little bit more control at the beginning of the process. And another hack that I found with cut, make, trim is that if you contact a manufacturing company who's typically a full package production company and you say, you know what, I understand that you can't meet my low order quantities, how about you just do cut, make, trim for me and I'll find the fabrics for you? A lot of the time they're willing to go down that route. So that's a little hack, especially if you find a company that you really want to work with but they can't do like 20 products, they can only do like 50. A lot of the time it's because they actually have minimums when it comes to ordering the fabric that they're going to be using for your garments. So that's just a little tip that I can give you, and it's something that I have actually personally used in the past. So full package production, they basically do everything for you. You just provide them with your tech pack or your design. Sometimes even a sketch can do, like sometimes some factories can be really good and be like, you know what, show me a sketch. We can kind of like conjure up an idea of exactly what it is that you want to make. Of course, if you don't make a tech pack, a lot of things are going to get lost in translation. It might be a long back and forth because what you've envisioned in your sketch isn't what they've picked up from your sketch. So it is really good to actually do a tech pack. Off that, they'll basically do everything start to finish. A lot of the time they can even provide the garment labels, the swing tags, the packaging, all of that. What you're gonna get is a fully packaged item. It's not an easy option, it's just an easier option than cut, make, trim in my opinion. So you need to find out what kind of factory they are. Are they CMT or are they FPP? And using these terminologies just makes you like sound like you know what you're doing, you know. Knowing the lingo helps these manufacturers take you a little bit more seriously. And of course, but not in the first email, because I feel like this can come across a little bit aggressive, but you need to actually find out their payment terms in subsequent emails that you send out later on, because you don't want to go through the whole process and now when it's time to pay, they're saying, you know what, 100% upfront, and you've gone through the whole process and you're happy and you're willing to work with them, but the payment process doesn't really work for you. Maybe they don't even use PayPal, maybe they don't use escrow. You need to kind of sort of find these things out early on so that, you know, if they're not doing the kind of payment process that you want or payment method that you want, you can quickly like nah, I'm not going to use that company. So definitely try and find out what their payment terms are and see whether that works out for you. So the email itself, I know what I've said so far is a lot, but there is a way you can actually condense it down into a nice email that is a reasonable length, because nobody wants to read a long email. Trust me, like I don't like long emails, and I'm sure the next man don't like long emails. So you can condense it down into a nice, short, reasonable email that a manufacturer is more than happy to read, comes across professional, clean, and straight to the point. So in my email, the thing that I like to start off with is dear whoever. If you have their name, perfect. Typically, usually don't have their name, so I'll say like dear all. And then, you know, you start off with your pleasantries, like hope you are well, hope you're keeping safe. We're in a pandemic, so I hope you're keeping safe, whatever's going on in the world. Keep that to one line though, like keep that nice, short and sweet. Now the next section, you need to introduce yourself and your brand. In this short paragraph, I would say maybe about 3 or 4 lines, this is the part where you actually need to sell your brand. So introduce yourself. So I'll be like, okay, hi, my name is Taddy and I'm the creative director of a clothing brand called Shiva Shiva. Then you need to go on to sell your brand. So why should this manufacturing company want to work with you? Especially because your quantities are going to be so low, you really need to try and sell yourself in the best way possible. So I'll say things like, I've been running Shiva Shiva for a year or 2 or 3 years or whatever it may be. We've got 2,000 followers on Instagram. We have really heavy engagement. Our impressions are like this. We've been featured here, there and everywhere. We've done pop-ups. Just sell your brand in the best possible way so that that manufacturing company, you know, gets a bit excited about your brand and wants to work with you, because the best kind of manufacturers to work with are the ones that are excited about your journey just as much as you are, because they will put in the love and the effort into actually producing the garments for your business because they believe in your clothing company, and you want to have that belief from the very beginning. Then your next line can be something along the lines of, we are trying to look for a manufacturer that we can grow with. Use words like develop with, flourish, reliable. Show that you want a manufacturer that's gonna be good, committed and you want to work with a manufacturer long term. At the end of the day, a manufacturer wants business and they want long-term business because that's what's going to benefit them the most. So you need to convince them that you are looking for long-term business. After you've written a little bit about that, that can be like 1 or 2 lines, then you can get into like the proper nitty-gritty of what the bulk of this email is likely to be. So you can start talking about some of the bits that I spoke about before, and I would put them generally in this sort of order. So the most important thing to me is I need to find out your MOQ. Make sure you use that kind of lingo. You could put MOQ or you could put minimum order quantity. You need to sound as professional as possible. Sometimes I would actually state how many garments I actually want, just so like if it's a company that, you know, only produces in the hundreds and thousands, we know that from the jump. It's better to know it at the start than waste your time and be like, oh wait, actually your quantities are too low. But also in doing that, you can put like a little bit in there where you're just like, as we grow, our quantities are going to get bigger. We're going to grow. We want to grow with you. Just try and finesse your words a little bit, just so that they don't believe that your quantities are always going to be 20, 30, because me and you both know that the quantities are not always going to be that. We're just starting out. So next, you need to find out whether they're a CMT company or a FPP. This is the bit that you can talk about. Okay, so I understand that my quantities are really low. I am willing to go out and source the fabrics and just have you guys manufacture the garments for me. It just shows that, you know, you're really keen on finding a manufacturer to work with. You really believe in this company and you're willing to do anything to work with this company, but not sounding too needy. It's kind of sort of like a fine balance. And even if you're not even going to end up going with them for whatever reason, you do need to sound like you are going to go with them. You need to sound like they're the only manufacturing company that you're speaking to, and make them feel important, because everybody likes to feel important. And then you can finally ask about like your lead times. This shows that, you know, you're serious, you've got some dates in mind, and you really want to get this ball rolling. Then of course you can end your email with, you know, really looking forward to hearing from you, starting a long-term business relationship with you. Just end it really nice, end it really cute. Make sure that you have like links to your website, your Instagram, any link to the work that you've done or are doing in your like signature bit, and make sure your signature bit is signed properly. Don't have it as like sent via iPhone or whatever. Make sure your signature like looks professional. Yeah, that's pretty much what I would write in my email to a manufacturer. It's what's worked for me. Even the manufacturers that I know typically work with hundreds of like products only, just because of like my nice email, they're like willing to like, you know, lower their quantities a little bit. Just always be polite, always be nice, and I'm sure you would get somewhere. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope it's been helpful. I hope I haven't rambled, guys. I've been really excited in the videos that I've been filming today. This is my second filming of a video today and I'm like sweating. But thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will catch you guys in my very next video.